LCQ, that is loading criteria, is nothing but the it is F by M ratio. Now, what in by F by M ratio? If you see, it is F by M ratio. It is the food to microorganism ratio, and this ratio is very important because on this ratio we can control the ASP. We can control the ASP. How? Because if the food ratio is increased and microorganisms is less, then there is a less treatment of the organic matter, because the microorganisms are not sufficient to decomposing the food, means the organic matter. Okay, and if the microorganisms are more and the food is less, then again there is a more sludge is formation, a new cell is generated, and there is more the microorganism sludge formation. Okay, so we need to manage this F by M ratio. We have to manage this F by M ratio. And if you see here, these are the some values are mentioned. If it is an extended aeration, then the F by M ratio is maintained between the 0.05 to 1.15. It means the F by M ratio is greater than 0.05 and it should be less than 0.15. Okay. Similarly, if you see the conventional activated sludge process, then they maintain the F by M ratio between 0.2 to 0.4. If it is a completely mixed activated sludge process, that time they are maintaining between the lower value is zero point 0.2, it should be greater than zero point 0.2 and it is to be less than 0.6. And if for the high rate things, if we want a high rate, then that time the ratio is to be maintained between zero point 0.4 greater than zero point 0.4 and to be less than 1.5. So these are the various activated sludge process, and accordingly we have to maintain the F by M ratio. Now, how we calculate this M by M ratio? What is the formula to calculating the F by M ratio? So let's see. It is it visible? The screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So if you see the F by M ratio, it is what? It is the amount of BOD5, means what? The amount of biochemical oxygen demand, means the amount of the what we call the sludge upon the kg of mlVSS. It is a mixed liquor volatile suspended solid. So it is the ratio between the BOD5 to the mlVSS. Now let's elaborate that formula. How we can say F by M is nothing but it is the BOD of wastewater, means how much the influent organic matter present, that is the BOD, into the influent flow rate. What will be the Q? The influent flow rate means inflow, okay, of the wastewater. So this is give the what is the concentration of the organic matter present into the what is the flow rate of the influent, that is the wastewater. It is meter cube per day and this is gram per meter cube. Okay, upon a reactor volume. Reactor volume is that activated sludge, which is the main reactor, that we call the reactor volume. Okay, what is the value of what is the volume of the reactor into the reactor biomass? Reactor biomass means how much is the microorganisms, the cells are present in the reactor. Okay, so that is the ratio. It is F by M. BOD wastewater into the influent upon the reactor volume into the reactor biomass. So we can again write it in terms of the terms. It is H0 is represent, this H0 is represent okay. So this H0 is represent, it is this one. It is what? The BOD of wastewater. Then the Q is, we call it is this one. It is the influent flow rate. The V is stands for the volume and X is stands for the reactor biomass, means the microorganisms present. Okay. So this is the thing. So we can write it is as F by M is nothing but we can say it is a ratio of H0 into the Q0 upon the V into the X. And by simplifying this equation, okay, we can write this F by M ratio is H0 by theta X, where we have a theta. If you see the theta, theta is what? It is the HRT. It is hydraulic retention time, and it is the ratio of V by Q. Now what we do, we are replacing this theta, we are replacing this theta value here. How? Because we have this Q and V. Okay. So what is the hydraulic retention time? It is the theta is equals to the V by Q. So we are replacing V by Q is nothing but the theta, and we write this equation in a final form as F by M is equals to the H0 initial substrate concentration into the HRT, that is the hydraulic retention time, into the microorganisms concentration. X is represent microorganism concentration. Okay. So once we do that one, so we can easily find out what is the F by M ratio. So F by M ratio is depend on what is the substrate concentration, what will be the theta and X. And from that one, we can easily get the value of F by M. It is not possible to just to know what is the M. M is again how much is the biomass or how much is the microorganisms to be present there. It is not possible. And for that one, we are taking this formula. Okay. Once we do that one, then we have okay, then the excess sludge wasting. Now definitely there is a formation of this sludge. Why the sludge is formed? The one when the substrate get decomposes, it convert into the simple form, it having the CO2, it having the water and some unconverted matter. Also, when the microorganisms are decomposing the organic matter, at the same time there is a formation of the new cell, and because of that one, there is a continuous generation of the sludge. Now, what do you mean by excess sludge? When there is a more amount of the sludge which is accumulated in the reactor, then we can call it is a excess sludge. Okay, and for that one, we have the formula to calculate the excess sludge. Now, what is the formula? Excess sludge generation under the steady state condition can be calculated as it is P suffix X is equals to the Y suffix OBS into the Q0 into the H0 minus S into the 10 raised to the power 3. This is into, okay. Once. So this is into, it is not X, okay. So we have the Px is equals to the Y observe. What is this Y OBS? It is given by observed sludge yield. It is observed sludge yield, and which is can be calculated as Y upon 1 plus Kd into theta c. This is again useful when we are solving the numerical. That time definitely we will take this the sludge yield. Okay, observed sludge yield. It is what? Sludge yield upon 1 plus Kd endogenous decay into the theta c. Theta c is what? It is the mean cell residence time. You should know the remainings of it. So it is, we can calculate what is Px. Px stands for the NACE waste activated sludge produced each day. How much is the waste activated sludge is produced per day? That can be calculated with the help of this formula. What is this formula? It is observed sludge yield into the flow rate of the influent into the substrate concentration minus the influent concentration of the substrate into the 10 raised to the power 3. So this will give the value of Px, that is the net waste activated sludge produced. Okay, in terms of kg per day. After that one, you just remember this formula. Okay, we have to again to remember this one. After that one, then the sludge recycling. Now obviously when in the activated sludge process, we are recycle some sludge. Why we are recycle? Because we want active microorganisms to be present into the reactor, and for that one there are washout of these microorganisms from the aeration tank because of the flow. So what we do, some of the sludge we are taken as a waste and some of the sludge we are recycled. So here, to know what is the sludge recycle, then we can calculate as it is the mixed liquor suspended solid concentration in the aeration tank is to be controlled by sludge recirculation rate and the sludge setability. Okay, what is the equation here? We have this equation. It is Q by Q R by Q is equals to X by X R X. Now what is this QR? QR is given the it is the flow rate of the recycled sludge upon the Q is the flow rate of the wastewater is equals to the X is the microorganism concentration initial, or we can call X is the MLVS, mixed liquor volatile suspended solid, and the XR is the volatile suspended solid in return sludge. So we have this formula to calculate this one. Okay. After that, the most important is the oxygen requirement. For any process, we need a oxygen because microorganisms need a oxygen. Why they need a oxygen? Because they are a living organism and we are treating the activated sludge by a aerobic process. And when we call aerobic one, we need a oxygen. Okay. And here again we have, it is very important to know how much oxygen is needed, because if you are giving the excess one, then there is a excess the economic burden on the plant. If you are giving the less one, then there is no organic matter decompose, and again you will have a more BOD you form in the effluent one, and because of that one we need to manage a proper oxygen in the aeration tank, which is nothing but in the activated sludge process. For that one, it is very important for us to know how much is the oxygen is needed. So oxygen is required in the activated sludge process for the oxidation of the influent organic matter. Okay, so the aeration equipment must be capable of maintaining the dissolved oxygen level. So aeration tank to be maintained and have the capability to dissolve the oxygen up to the 2 milligram per liter. Okay, so this is at least the one basic requirement for any type of the aeration tank. So let's see how to calculate that one. The oxygen requirement for the activated sludge process can be estimated by knowing the ultimate BOD of the wastewater and the amount of biomass waste from the system each day. Okay, if all the substrate removed by the microorganisms is totally oxidized for the energy purpose. Now if we say consider that all the substrate removed by the microorganisms, then all the oxygen is utilized to conversion of the substrate into the simple form. Okay, but that is not a case happening in the reactor, and for that one, if that is the case, then we can have a formula: oxygen required is equals to the Q, the flow rate, into the H0 minus S upon the F. Either in some equations, if you see here, don't confuse this S in my notes, it is represented by SE. SE is what? It is SE means the effluent substrate. It is effluent. So don't confuse. Either you can write it is yes, or you can write it is SE. Okay. So it is what? The Q into the H0 into the H0 minus S upon F. What is F? F stands for the ratio of BOD to ultimate BOD. It is the ratio of BOD at 5 days to the ultimate BOD, that is initial BOD concentration. Okay, so that will, but this is the case we can use this formula only and only when we can say that if all the substrates are removed by the microorganisms is totally oxidized for a energy purpose. Okay, but that is not a case is happening there. Okay, some of the new cells are, there is a generation formation of the new cells, and again we need oxygen to generation of the new cell. Okay, so the oxygen requirement for the oxidation of biomass produced as a result substrate utilization is required. Now many times there are the microorganisms which are present there, they formation of the new cell, and after sometimes it will die. So that is also the one of the biomass which is generated into the sludge tank. Now for that decomposition, again the microorganism need oxygen, but initial case we are only calculating for the substrate one. So we have the formula, another formula. So what we do here, we can say actual oxygen requirement in that case. So for oxidation of the biomass produced as a result of substrate utilization is required to subtract it from the theoretical oxygen requirement. So we can write this equation as QH0 minus S upon F minus 1.42. Okay, why I am taking this minus 1.42? Because the oxygen requirement for oxidizing a 1 unit of biomass is 1.42, means to decomposing a one unit of biomass we need a 1.42 is the oxygen, and on that basis we say that this is a 1.42, that's why we are taken here 1.42 into the QW minus XR. What is this QW? This is the flow rate of the waste, means the slash sludge, into the XR, the microorganisms in the recycle one. Okay. Now again there is a modification of this 36. Do not account the nitrification. If there is a nitrification is there, then we can change this formula like this one. Okay. So we can say that the air supply in the aeration tank must be adequate for satisfying the BOD of the wastewater, endogenous respiration of the microorganisms, provide the adequate mixing. Okay, and for that one we have supply air. Okay, maintain the minimum DO. It is from 1 to 2 milligram per liter throughout the aeration tank. Okay, so that's why we have to provide air. We are not provide the pure oxygen, but yes, we are providing the air, and from that one we can get the oxygen. Okay, so this is about the what we call the various formulas which are used to designing the activated sludge process.